Welcome in, y'all. I hope your week went well. I turned some fruits and veggie suggestions given by my community into vehicles driven by tiny cats and frogs. And it was super fun, even though my thumb started hurting after a while. But such is life, right? Today I will be turning photos into original characters, but with a kind of twist-ish. The challenge was that every time I refresh my Pinterest, I have to create a character from the first 4 images that appear. Also, knowing my own interests, I knew a color palette might appear, so if it does, I need to create that character with the color palette given. Does that make sense? I'm a visual learner myself, so we'll just jump right into it. First character is based off of these 4 images. That also includes a color palette. I had a difficult time figuring out how to make a character with the images given to me. This will be a common occurrence. I couldn't just make it a person, nor did I want to make it a straight up cat character. So I switched it up a bit. I used the words calm nights from the last photo as my starting point. I decided to create a character based off of that, or something of the sort. So I thought, what about a character that consumes nightmares? A nightmare consumer that creates calm nights. And there my brain went. You see, I took the cat sleeping on a moss rock as a whole piece to use. The cat is the nightmare consumer. I thought it would be fun to have the cat be seen as like a non-threatening being, but when it opens its mouth, it starts glowing and you realize, huh, you're not what I thought you were. You can see a person attached below looking like they're wearing the consumer as a hat. Well, surprise, it's a puppet. To further add to the non-threatening levels of the cat, I made a puppet to be attached at the bottom, to be viewed as the kind of threatening aura. The puppet is moved around by the cat and so forth. The mechanics behind this? Just straight up willpower, honestly. It's just darkness beneath all that. Oh, well, actually, that crystal in the chest is used to purify the nightmares that are consumed. Maybe the cleansed nightmares are re-released into the world as a calming agent for restless souls. I did take elements from each image. I used a stained glass lamp for the body of the puppet, quilted blanket for the cape, strawberries to hang from the hat, and leaves for added pizzazz. I threw out the cupcake. I'm sorry. I only took the strawberry from that, but I'm very pleased with how this came out. The color palette worked wonders. I did fiddle with the brightness to gain different varieties of the colors, still in the same range, so I like to think it was a success. Next, we landed on these 4 images. This one I was very much stuck on, had no clue which direction to take. A baker, flower baker, cake person? Actually, listing these off here, it didn't occur to me at the time. The route I took was making a flower sprite that worked at a bakery. I was inspired by those flower sprites in the Spiderwick Chronicles. I always thought they looked whimsical and cool. As I said earlier, I had to create a character based off of the images given and use the color palette to color the character. Since I added things outside of the character, I decided to cheat a little and use the colors of those original images. So the cake, plate, and wooden board. Other than that, the sprite itself stayed in the color theme given to me. This was extra fun to do because I gave myself the freedom to do whatever. So I gave 2 extra arms, making them thin and long like stems, and I added an extra pair of eyes, because why not? For the lamp portion of it, I'd say the skirt glows in dark spaces, kind of making them like those light bugs. What are they called? Fireflies? So flower sprites that glow in the dark. I like that concept. Also, yet another species to add to my fantasy world. I also really like how the wings came out. For my fairies, I give them clear wings, but here the sprites have noticeable wings to resemble petals, kind of. It's making me wonder if I should alter my fairies' wings to be somewhat similar. I'll have to ponder that though. Y'all, this did not give me much, okay? Flower, cat, cake. I went down a simpler route of just making a cat baking character, but I thought, hey, let's shake it up a bit by making the face of this cat a flower. Now that it's been a while since I created this character, I realized I could have done an outward normal cat appearance, then they transform it into a flower monster during a certain time or something. I'll add this character to my list of characters to redesign in the future because that version sounds more appealing to me than what I have here. Nonetheless though, I really enjoyed the thought I had with the flower face. They look kind of creepy to me just because there's no eyes and no noticeable nose or mouth, though it shouldn't feel that way because I draw many of my cats like that. Anywho's, even though this one felt simpler, I enjoyed the outcome, so I won't be too mad at myself. The story for this one is that this cat would be the owner of the bakery that the flower sprite works at, and it would be a small hole-in-the-wall kind of place, abundant in flowers. Lastly, we got this set of photos. I think I knew fairly early what kind of character I wanted to make with this, a clock character of sorts. I was inspired by the earlier character, the Nightmare Consumer, and its puppet body, and was also thinking of my OC Angelique, who is a sentient porcelain doll. So I decided to also make this character puppet-like. Using the petals of the flowers shown, I made the cake thing and had it create a triangle shape to further resemble the flowers given, because they're also kind of elongated triangle shapes. The berries were tricky to figure out how to incorporate. I decided to make them dangle on the flower hat, similar to the Nightmare Consumer. I like to think they put those there to make them look approachable-ish. The color theme also helped. I ombreed the cape petals to resemble the berries. I also enjoyed the thought of them being a watch seller, but not like a general watch seller. I was imagining that character in Hercules when he says, "You wanna buy a sundial?" and then made my own version. I imagine whenever they come across someone or something, the head would spin, showing us the clock face, and they would do their pitch, which would just be watch, and you would be shown a lovely array of watches, personally designed and made by this character. So not only are they a watch seller, they're also a watchmaker. They don't have a storefront, so you can only get their watches from them personally, which is actually really special. Who wouldn't want something handmade? Though we are unsure whether this character is a robot or a spirit of some kind that entered an empty puppet and decided to make watches, or if they are actually a type of species of watchmakers. Who knows? All I know is that I am happy with this outcome. The colors are pleasant to the eye, and I enjoy giving masks to characters. Maybe I'll draw my OCs attending a masquerade or something one day. Keep an eye out for that. Thank you for watching till the end if you did, and tell me, which one is your favorite? What kind of character would you have created with the images given? I think my favorite is the first one, because imagine that character floating up to you in the dead of night to consume your nightmares. It would be both comforting and unsettling, even more so for me because I don't like puppets or human-like dolls. But I do enjoy drawing them. Anywho's, thank you again. And next week will be a simpler video so I can make time for a bigger video after that. So yeah, have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. Goodbye!